Hello all, this is Heather and I'm back with another video. I am so sorry I unexpectedly did not post any videos last week. I just got really busy. The summer has been very busy for me, but it finally caught up to me and I just ran out of time. So here I am today back with another washi tape Tuesday video. So in this one I'm just going to share a technique. I'm not actually using these on a project today, but I for sure will use them on a project in the future, so stay tuned for more ideas on that. So to start off, I'm going to be using this Ali Edwards die, and it's a word die that says remember, and this video is all about die cutting washi tape. So I'm going to show you a few different examples with different dies that I have and different washi tapes, and I get completely different looks depending on the materials that I use. So to start off with this thin die, I'm using a couple of shims, that's the orange pieces of cardstock that you see. So in my Cuttlebug, which is an old one, I'm using the A plate, which is the white thick plate, and I'm also using the C plate, which is slightly thicker than the regular B plates. And what I've done is just take some black and white diagonal striped washi tape and I've stuck it to some white cardstock, and now I'm just taping my die right on top of that with the cutting side down to the washi tape. And I should have changed the sandwich up a bit. I've got the blade going into those cutting shims, the orange pieces of cardstock, but they should actually be on top of the die because I end up cutting into my shim, which isn't a big deal because it's just a piece of cardstock, but now I'm gonna have to make a new shim. So you can see that the die cut stuck to the shim right there, and I'm just carefully peeling it off as this is very detailed die cut, and I'll show you the reveal here of what it looks like. So I really love this die. Remember is a word that is very special to me, and so I knew I would use this one a lot. And here's what it looks like. On these detailed dies, I really suggest using a tiny patterned washi tape, or a solid washi tape would look good, but if you use a larger pattern, I don't think it would be as readable, which might not be a big deal if it was a shape, but in this case I wanted it to be readable. So for my next example, I'm using a leaf die, which is an older Cuttlebug die, and it has the metal backing with foam on it, so I will tell you the sandwich for that when I get to it. But first of all, I'm just using these solid color washis, and I'm putting them down on a piece of cardstock in rainbow order, which I will just magically skip through that. I've got that ready here. So the sandwich that I'm going to use for this specific die is the A plate and the B plate, and then I'll put the die face up with the cardstock on top with my rainbow pattern facing down. So always have the blade of the die directly touching the washi tape, if that makes sense. So you want the washi tape facing the die, so that will get you the cleanest cut. And I'm just using my cutting B plate, which is all scratched up and curved as you can see, but that doesn't matter, it still functions right now. So I've just cut out that leaf, and this is what it looks like. I will go through and cut a bunch of these, and then once they're all cut, I will pop out the details of that die, which you'll see in a minute here. I'm just gonna line this up straight with the one I've already cut, and you can eyeball this, but if you're more comfortable you could also temporarily adhere the die to the paper as well, like I did with the last one using a strip of washi. So I finished cutting these leaves out, and now I'm just poking out the inside pieces of those dies, and they come out really easy because it is just a thin washi tape and thin paper. It's regular cardstock, but it does pop out quite easily. So I quite like the rainbow effect of these, and I'll probably use them on a card or something. I think that would look really pretty with them all lined up in rainbow order. So my final example is going to be using one of these thicker dies, and this is the kind that can cut chipboard or heavy cardboard or material, all kinds of different things. So these dies have more flexibility. So I'm just cutting a piece of corrugated cardboard out here, and I just lined it up with my die to make sure it was the right size and that it would fully cover the area that I needed it to. And I'm going to use the packaging because the image on the packaging is 100% sized of the image. And I'm just using that as a guide so I kind of know where to place my washi tape onto this cardboard. And I've selected sort of a vintage washi tape. It's a map, and I think this combines well with that craft colored cardboard. If you picked a really clean one, the craft color might show through the washi tape, which would be a cool look, but it might clash with a cleaner style of washi tape. So just keep that in mind and experiment with it and see what you think. Excuse me. So I'm just lining it up on my die here, and then I'm going to put my sandwich together in my Cuttlebug. And for these thick dies in the Cuttlebug, you just need the 2 B plates. So I'm using my thin B plate and then my cutting B plate, which is the one I always use for cutting, and just rolling that through. And this die I really like. It's quite versatile because of the frame, so I can use this to frame an image on a scrapbooking page, or I could use it on a card as an embellishment. It's a really fun one to use. So that worked out perfectly, shockingly. I made it look a bit easier, but it helped because my washi tape was thicker, so I had some room to work with. There was more room for error, and I'm just going to toss out that extra piece. But then I realized that the inside piece of that frame, that looks like this, fits perfectly with the other frame on this die, which is slightly smaller. So someone smart designed this so that you can use the innard of the frame on the smaller die, which I didn't actually realize. I've had this for a long time and I just discovered it now. So the washi tape covered enough of that piece of cardboard still that I could roll it through on that second image of the die, and it worked out to cut out a second frame perfectly. So I was really excited about that, and I can use these 2 frames together or separately depending what I decide to do with them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like these techniques. Let me know what you thought, and go check out my blog for more details. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.